Well, roundabouts are new to central New York. So the first thing I like to mention is that Carrier Circle is not a roundabout. That's a traffic circle. It's higher speeds, it's multiple lanes. So for example, the roundabouts that we're building as part of the 81 project, the inside of the roundabout is only 70 to 90 feet across, whereas Carrier Circle, it's probably closer to 200 feet. So the scale of it, the speed of it, engineering has evolved since those were installed. A roundabout keeps traffic moving. So if there's a power outage or any other event, it's not dependent on a traffic signal. So people can move at any time of day, any time of night. They're not sitting at a red light in the middle of the night. Crash patterns are much less severe in a roundabout. So a traffic signal, it's possible to have head-on collisions, right-angle collisions, whereas a roundabout, if there are crashes, they're much less severe, like a sideswipe or something like that. I think, New York State and across the country, they saw that this is a great way to move traffic. It's less infrastructure to maintain with traffic signals, traffic signal poles for the future generations. For someone getting off southbound 81, destined, for example, to Business Loop 81 northbound to get to, say, downtown Syracuse, they would exit the ramp, come to the yield of the roundabout, and then gradually traverse through the roundabout and find themselves on East Glen Ave. This roundabout serves a lot of different businesses to the south. It's a very busy area, ultimately connecting to Seneca Turnpike. Someone coming off Business Loop 81, coming out from the city, they would travel down Brighton Ave. They've gone through the first roundabout, and then they have a choice to either continue south, where they just continue to progress through, or they enter the roundabout. So they go through all of the similar signage and different markings on the roadway, and they ultimately yield at the roundabout, make sure no one's coming, and they enter the roundabout, and they're able to traverse that roundabout and head along to Rock Cut Road. So what we're looking at is we're looking down Van Buren, basically west. It'll have 3 legs. So it'll have the leg that serves Business Loop 81 to the south, which is off here, Almond Street, and then Van Buren. And you can see that when someone's crossing from right to left, they only have to look at traffic coming from one direction, so they would only have to look to the left, and then they can cross here, cars will yield to them, and then they can stop here in this island, and then when they're ready to cross, they can look to see if anyone's coming from the right side, and then they can cross this way. So that's where roundabouts really are great for pedestrians, because you only have to worry about one direction of vehicles. So they can stop here and then they can cross. This is on the way to Seabreeze. This is outside of Rochester, north of Rochester. And this is the closest I could find to what we're putting in along Brighton. Right here, see how this is, I call it a slip ramp. So for anyone turning right, they have their own lane that they don't even, it's very clear that no one's going to be coming into their lane. It's meant for people to take a right turn. We'll have something similar on a leg of each roundabout. So where we saw right turns, it would be split like this with a concrete island. Generally speaking, in a roundabout, it's designed so we give you that spot that you can get into that lane and you go. And you're only worried about this one lane of traffic right here that you're watching for. So this car and this car, and notice how they're staggered. So if a car is sitting here and a car is sitting here, they can both see. One car isn't blocking the other from seeing what's happening in this roundabout. And it's at an angle, so they have better visibility. They don't have to look, a hard look over their shoulder. You can see that's like the beauty of a roundabout right there, where they have that one lane of cars that could be coming. They're staggered, they yield, they look. It's an easy look, and then they can travel through. It's something like when we propose a roundabout, 70% of the people are against it. And then once we have it in and it's working, 70% of the people love it. So I think people just need to give it a shot.